Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 18th, and we in the United States should consider ourselves among the luckiest people on the face of the earth. We have not had a war on our premises since the Civil War in the 1860s. And when you look around the world and you see these conflicts that are going on between countries, you must understand the agony that the people who live in those regions are feeling. So when I look at the war between Israel and Iran, which has traded strikes for the fifth day, and civilians in both countries are paying the price. At least 224 people in Iran and 24 people in Israel have been killed. And the schools in Tehran have been turned into bomb shelters. And they've been turned also into emergency bases. And the citizens are seeking to evacuate the capital in Iran ahead of the Israeli strikes that have been stymied by fuel shortages. And people in Israel are trying to avoid Iran's missiles by gathering in bomb shelters, where they sit glued to their phones and their TVs waiting for the latest update. Is that the way that we would envision going through life for a small period of time? And when you think about Israel sitting in the middle of all of those enemies, is this a life that an Israeli looks forward to for his entire lifetime? So Israel has publicly justified its unprecedented attack as an effort to stop Iran from building a nuclear bomb. And U.S. intelligence has shown that Iran was not actively pursuing a nuclear weapon, and they're up to 3 years away from being able to produce and deliver a nuclear weapon. But 3 years is a short period of time. And why? Why would any intelligent person let them continue for 3 years before they elect to stop it? That's stupidity on the part of those in the United States who believe that Israel shouldn't do anything about Iran trying to produce a nuclear weapon until they're on the verge of putting it into action. Does that sound like an intelligent move on any country? Let the enemy build up whatever they want and let them get in a position to strike, and then you're going to try to stop them? That's foolishness on the part of anybody who is saying something like that. And I feel sorry for all the Israelis that have to gather in bomb shelters and things like that. And I feel sorry for the fact that the Iranians' population is in that terrible position also. I am sure most of the Iranian population will be happy to go about their business. I don't know for sure, but I am willing to bet that 90% of the Iranians don't feel an intense hatred for the Jewish population that lives nearby. But I can't say for sure that that's true. But the leaders of Iran don't like Israel for whatever reason. And so, how would you like to be living in a state where your future future can be decided by the fact that you were able to go into a bomb shelter and study to graduate from school or something like that, or practice whatever you do for a living in a bomb shelter. Does that sound like a decent way of life to you? It certainly doesn't sound good to me that I would have to be ready to run into a bomb shelter for the rest of my life. And I can tell you right now, the way I look at this situation, and Israel is surrounded on all sides, that's what a child in Israel, a young person in Israel might think. Oh my God, I'm living in a bomb shelter again. That's a terrible, terrible thought that keeps creeping into my mind. And I don't care how many years away they claim a nuclear weapon can be produced by Iran. No matter how many years away it is, it's a bad idea for that country to get a nuclear weapon. So Israel has to do everything they possibly can to stop that. And so this is a conundrum that many in the world can't figure out the answer to. Nobody can figure out the answer to this situation. So I leave you with that. A mess in the Middle East that will go on for a long time in my mind, because the people who are involved in it can't figure out a way to sit down and get their lives straightened out. A terrible situation. Have a great day if you can. I am sorry about talking about all this bad news all the time, but it has to be out there in the open for us to think about. Take care. Have a great day. Bye. Bye.